I just want to have a look here at some more ideas to do with sampling, and particularly I want to focus on our target population versus our sampling frame, and look at some of the variations and differences and being more specific about some of the types of categories that we can get within this. So I've got a diagram here, and what I've got is the outside green square rectangle represents my target population. This is who I would like to gather information from. So if I want to get information about the school cafeteria, my target population would be all the students and all the staff, and any visitors that might be coming into the school and purchasing food from the school cafeteria, and they are who I would like to gather information from about their experiences. So that's who I want to get information from. Then I've got this other brown oval, which is my actual sampling frame. And so within the sampling frame, there is a whole bunch of different people. Now, some of these people are in my target population, some of them are not. So, for example, in my if I think about people who are just visitors, parents that might come into the school, for example, they are not part of my target population, but they might be on the list on my database of, all contact details for every student includes the list of all family members, mum and dad or caregivers that are there. So they would be part of my sampling frame, but they are students that I would say, those are people that I would say are not eligible for my survey. They wouldn't be regular customers of the cafeteria. So while I can get an address for them, I've got information on how to contact them, they aren't people I actually want to contact. So that would be, for example, looking at the parents. Okay, they aren't part of my target population, but they are. I've got a list of their names and contact details through the school system. Another example is those people that can't be contacted. Okay, so that might be, for example, people who if I'm doing a survey and I'm doing that survey face-to-face on a particular day, that might be students who are absent on that particular day. If they're not actually at school, I cannot contact them. I cannot ask them my questions because they aren't there on that school day. I might then have a group of students who refuse to respond. So I've gone up to them and I've asked them, could you take a minute to answer some questions for me? And they've said, no, sorry, not today. Okay, so those are people that have said, no, I do not want to answer your survey questions. Then we might have another category of people, those who are incapable of responding. So, for example, I might have a student at my school who is mute. Okay, for one reason or other, and therefore they may not, even if I go and ask them, they may not be able to respond to me. Okay, and then the main group that I have are the people that I can actually collect data from. So the people I've gone up to and said, could you answer some questions? And they have gone and said, yes, that's fine, and given me some answered. So that's my actual people that I get a sample data from. So from all of the people in my target population that I'd like to gather information, there are groups within that I don't collect data from. Now the important thing is being able to identify them, but even more than that is being able to think about, well, why do we care about these people? Why do we care about the people that were absent or the people that didn't want to answer my survey? And what it is that these people may have different opinions. They might give me different data. They might feel differently about this cafeteria than those who have responded. So the people that refuse to respond, they might all think that the cafeteria food is crap, and they're not going to do a survey about it because, quite frankly, I'm not wasting my time. It's crap food. I'm not going to tell you about it. Whereas those that do like the cafeteria food, they're the ones that have responded and said, yes, we love the cafeteria food. We think it's wonderful. So what can happen is that the people who are actually sampled can have a different opinion or have different data than these other categories. And that's why we need to be aware of who these people are so we can try and understand who our data can be suggestive of. So if I get results of this data, that means that for the kinds of people that I've answered, this is how they feel. If I was doing a phone survey, then it might be that, for example, there are people who do not have a landline at home, so I cannot ring and ask them some questions. And so they may think differently about different phone services that are available than those that do have phones. So we've got to be aware that there is often these differences in opinions that people may have, and so that can cause gaps, if you like, in my knowledge from the data that I have got collected.